your wife, she passed away just a little while ago. At the hospital. Peacefully.
You're texting me at 4 in the morning for this? Have you completely lost your mind?
I'm sorry, but I thought you should be the first to know. It didn't feel right for anyone else to tell you.
You have any idea what time I wake up? You couldn't wait until morning like a normal person?
I didn't want to wait. She was your wife.
Unbelievable. You really are the most inconsiderate woman I've ever met.
I'm just trying to keep you informed, and the doctor also asked to speak with family.
Why? What's the point? She's dead, isn't she? Whatever he wants to say, you can listen to it. Spare me the pointless talk.
Very well. Then may I ask you to handle the funeral arrangements?
Me? Why should I lift a finger? You've handled every damn chore for over a decade. Add this to the list.
You're her husband, though, right? That comes with responsibilities.
Yeah, I know how it works. I'll show up, shed a tear or two, say something touching, and let everyone pat me on the back. That's what they expect, that's what I'll give them. But I'm not doing a thing beyond that. You take care of everything else.
After my husband passed, I chose to stay in this house, and for 14 years, I cared for your wife. I cooked for her, bathed her, dressed her, took her to every appointment.
And? You want a medal?
No, I just want you to understand it wasn't easy. There were hard days, many, but I never resented her. In fact, I grew to love her, despite everything.
Touching, truly. So what now, you want the funeral to be some grand affair to show off your loyalty?
I want the funeral to be peaceful, dignified, so I'd like to let the professionals handle the logistics while I quietly say goodbye.
Don't be an idiot. Funeral homes charge for every little thing. You do whatever you can yourself. Cut costs wherever possible. Don't waste money trying to act noble.
I thought maybe, just maybe, now that she's gone, we could have a civilized conversation. But I see nothing has changed.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I'd hoped the death of someone we both loved might bring some humanity out of you. But I was wrong.
Whatever. Just finish whatever you have to do at the hospital and stay out of my way.
I'll go to the crematorium after the paperwork is done. But first, I'll need to stop by the house and change into my morning clothes.
Wait, you're not seriously planning on attending the funeral, are ya?
Yes, of course I am.
You're not family. You're just the widow of my dead son. That makes you a stranger now.
Does it? After 14 years?
Exactly. You're not blood. You're nothing but an outsider.
Funerals aren't just for blood relatives. They're for anyone who loved the departed. And if I recall, you told me to handle the arrangements. Now you're saying I can't even attend?
There's a difference between making preparations and standing beside the casket. You belong in the background, not front and center.
I spent more time with her than you did. She confided in me, depended on me. I have every right to say goodbye.
You want to know what I think? You're just here to grab whatever you can from the estate.
Excuse me?
You think I don't see it? She came from a wealthy family, old money. There's more than enough hidden away, maybe even stuff I don't know about. And you've been waiting all this time to pounce.
That's not why I stayed.
Then why would anyone in their right mind stay here for 14 years, looking after an old woman who wasn't even related to you anymore?
Because if I had left, you would have let her rot in that bed alone. You wouldn't have cared.
Damn right, that's not my job.
Exactly. That's why I stayed.
Yeah, wrap it up in sweet words if you like, but we both know you were chasing the inheritance. You figured if you played the martyr long enough, you'd get something.
I've told you, I'm not after money.
Show up at the funeral and you'll have every distant relative singing your praises. She was so devoted. She took care of her mother-in-law until the end. Give it a rest.
And what's wrong with that?
Then someone will say, why not leave her a little something? And if I say no, I look like the villain.
So this is all about your image, as usual.
Say what you want. You're done here. You were used and you didn't even know it. Thanks for the free labor.
Used?
If I had told you 14 years ago that you'd get nothing, you would have walked. But I let you believe, let you hope, and you played your part.
And you think that makes you clever?
You can cry about it if you want, but you're not getting a cent. The estate will be split among real family.
You mean your daughter? The one who never visited once after your wife fell ill?
Of course I mean Mina. She's my baby. She hated being around sick people, so I took her out to eat instead. Better to keep her happy than make her uncomfortable.
I see. I didn't know any of that.
Doesn't matter. You'll be gone soon. Won't be around to hear what's in the will anyway.
I'll be handling the funeral for now, so if you'll excuse me.
Don't spend too much. Make it respectable, but keep it cheap.
Understood.
And once the funeral's done, I want you out of this house.
What?
Don't worry about me. My daughter will take care of me now. I don't need you.
You can't just throw me out.
Starting tomorrow, the daily rent is $200. Unless you can afford that on no income, I suggest you pack your bags.
All right. I'll leave.
That's right. No inheritance, no home, and 14 years wasted. It's actually hilarious. You spent over a decade waiting for your reward, and you get nothing. Absolutely pathetic.
You don't need to laugh at me. I'm not ashamed.
That's the spirit. Enjoy your life as a penniless, used-up caregiver. Now get out of my sight.
I'll finish what I came here to do. After that, I'll be gone, and you can rot in this house alone. I still can't believe you didn't show up to the funeral. Honestly, what kind of person does that? So rude. Mina, it's been a while. Didn't your father tell you what happened? He did, but still, even if he told you not to come, any decent person would show up anyway. You took care of her for 14 years, didn't you? And yet, you couldn't even say goodbye? That's cold. I did go. I put on mourning clothes and went all the way to the crematorium, but your father told me I wasn't family. And when I insisted on paying my respects, he kicked me, literally, and told me to get lost. So I said goodbye from a distance. Huh, sounds like something Dad would do. Still, the relatives were furious about it, just so you know. What? Yeah. They were all saying stuff like, she looked after the mother-in-law for over a decade, and yet she's not even at the funeral. They said it was unthinkable, unforgivable even. Did your father not explain anything? That he was the one who chased me away? Of course not. Come on, it's Dad we're talking about. He only ever cares about protecting himself. In fact, he got angry right alongside everyone else. Said you were the inconsiderate one. It was wild. That's cruel. I'm not really concerned about your reputation or anything. Anyway, on a different note, you don't happen to know anything about Mom's will, do you? No, I don't. I was looking through the drawers in her room earlier, but I couldn't find anything. She must have hidden it somewhere else. Any idea? No, sorry. I mean, knowing Mom, I'm sure she left me something generous. Probably made sure her only daughter got the lion's share. I wouldn't know anything about that. I was thrown out of the house. And now that I'm no longer a part of this family, I don't think I should speak further. Wait, what? You left the house? Yes, didn't you know? I thought you were just out running errands or something. I didn't realize you'd actually moved out. Your father told me to get out, so I did. Wait. If something happens to Dad, who's going to take care of him? When I asked him that, he said he wasn't worried. He said, "My beloved daughter is here. She'll look after me." Beloved daughter? Who's he talking about? Who else could he mean, Mina? Are you kidding me right now? There's no way I'm doing that. I'm not wiping some old man's butt. That's disgusting. What? And don't even get me started on that old people smell. That's why I never visited Mom. Just being near her made my skin crawl. If Dad starts rotting away too, it'll be even worse. But I thought you and your father were close. Didn't you two go out to eat all the time? Only because he took me to expensive places. Fancy French restaurants, Korean barbecue, that kind of thing. I barely said 2 words to him during the meals. But he really believes you'll be there for him. That's his problem, not mine. I have my own life, my own family. I don't have time to babysit him. So, if something were to happen to him, what then? I'll take the inheritance, obviously. And dump him into some high-end nursing home. Problem solved. What does family even mean to you people? Watching all of this unfold, I'm starting to question the very definition. Family? Parents are the ones who choose to bring kids into this world, so they owe us. They should provide money in old age and not burden us with any of their problems. That's their job. Your values are so different from mine, but this is between you and your father. It's no longer my place to interfere. Exactly. And if you don't know anything about the will, then I'm done here. Later. Goodbye.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love.
How the hell did you trick my wife into writing that will?
I'll always show up.
Excuse me?
I don't ever slow up.
My daughter found it, tucked way back in the wardrobe drawer. A will! It says she's leaving everything to you!
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Don't play dumb. It's definitely her handwriting. You must have threatened her, didn't you? Made her write it under duress?
I got facts over tracks.
What? Of course not. I would never do something like that.
Looking at it closely, the handwriting looks shaky. Don't tell me you held a knife to her or something.
Enough! I didn't even know there was a will until you just said so.
So you admit it then. You have no right to anything my wife left behind.
I can't answer that right now. I'd like to see what she wrote first.
Unbelievable. How greedy can you be?
That's not it. I just want to understand why she wrote my name. What she wanted me to have. What she wanted to say with that final decision.
It's money. What else could it be?
Could I at least take a look? If my name is written in text, then surely I have the right to read it.
No way. There's no way I'm letting this stand.
What are you talking about?
If this will is valid, I won't get a damn thing. Neither will Mina. There's only one solution. Tear it up or burn it. Pretend it never existed.
You'd erase your own wife's final wishes?
You're just desperate for that inheritance, huh? Clinging to it like a leech. But don't waste your time. You won't get a single penny.
I don't want the money. I just want to know what she wrote. Even just a summary, please. Can't you tell me?
Not a chance. If I tell you, you might forge something, imitate her handwriting, fake another will.
Do I really seem that greedy to you?
You endured 14 years of caregiving for what? Well, please, you were just playing the long game for cash. To me, that makes you a top-tier manipulator.
So, that's really how you see me.
Bitter that you won't get any of it? Good. Now do me a favor, stay the hell out of our lives.
Don't worry. That was always the plan.
By the way, where are you right now?
Why are you asking me that?
Because if you're anywhere near my house, you might sneak in during the night, break in, and steal the will. I have to get rid of it before you can touch it.
You kicked me out, remember? Now you're worried about where I am?
Damn right I am. You'll do anything for that money. I know your type.
You don't have to worry. I'm not a thief. I'm not like you.
Don't try anything. Come within 1 foot of this place and I'll call the police. Got it?
Loud and clear. Excuse me. I just got a call from your wife's attorney.
Why the hell would you get a call from him?
He said he'd like to begin the inheritance proceedings.
That will? It's invalid. I already threw it away.
About that. Apparently, your wife had the foresight to deposit a backup copy with her lawyer, just in case something happened to the original.
What?
She told him she was worried someone might tamper with it or try to make it disappear, so she entrusted him with a copy, just to be safe.
No way, that can't be true.
He was calling to ask whether I'd already completed the family court probate procedure.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Apparently, if a will is found at someone's house, like the original was, it has to go through family court first to be legally recognized. Otherwise, it's not considered valid.
Oh, that's perfect then.
What do you mean?
It means the original will is gone. I burned it. So if it has to go through court to count, then it's as good as gone. That means you get nothing. And I get to split everything with Mina fair and square, just like the law says.
But, like I said, the attorney still has a copy.
Copies don't count. I destroyed the original. That's what matters.
That's what I thought too. But the lawyer emailed me a scanned version just now.
You read it?
Yes.
So you saw the amount, huh? Must have made your eyes pop out of your head, didn't it?
Actually, I didn't even care about the money. What overwhelmed me was what she wrote about me. The way she expressed her gratitude. I cried reading it.
Don't be so gullible. That's just polite fluff. Formalities.
No. It was genuine. It wasn't about money. It was about trust, about thanks. And now that I've read her words, I understand what she wanted. She wanted me to receive this. Not because she had to, but because she chose to.
You've gotta be kidding me.
So yes, I will accept the inheritance.
What? After all that talk about not caring about money, this is what it comes down to?
You can believe what you want, but I'll be honoring her final wishes.
No way in hell! I won't allow it!
I have a meeting with the lawyer shortly. Once it's done, I'll let you know the outcome.
I'm coming with you!
You weren't even named in the will. You're not an heir. You're not part of this. So please, stay out of it.
You rotten little... You haven't heard the last of this, you hear me?
I just spoke to Dad. Can you explain to me how the entire inheritance ended up in your hands?
Because that's what your mother wished for. It's written clearly in her will.
Like hell she did! I refuse to accept that. There's no way she'd cut us out completely. I'm going to claim my reserved portion. Legally, I'm entitled to 1/4. Dad too. That makes half the estate ours by right.
You might want to reconsider that.
Oh, don't act like you know better than me. Why shouldn't I?
Because your father destroyed the original will.
What? No, that can't be true. Are you telling me he actually did that?
Yes, he admitted it himself. He thought if the will was gone, you two could inherit everything equally by default.
Oh no, that's really bad.
Do you understand why?
Of course I do! If you alter, hide, or destroy a will, you lose the legal right to inherit. Even the portion you're supposed to be guaranteed.
Exactly. The lawyer told me that earlier today. He said your father has effectively disqualified himself.
That stupid old man! Always so sure of himself, never bothered to actually learn how things work, and now look what he's done!
I don't think he fully understood the consequences.
Well, now he's got nothing, not even his 25%. Which means I'm only left with my quarter?
Yes, legally speaking, that's correct.
What a joke. A quarter after everything we did for her? After being family?
Family? You hardly visited her. You avoided her when she needed support. She was bedridden for years, and you barely came by.
Don't get all self-righteous with me. How do you know so much about inheritance law anyway?
I didn't until recently, but I listened when your mother spoke, and when she passed, I started asking questions. I wanted to do this properly.
Well, I did my research too. I knew there might be something worth fighting over, so I made sure I knew my rights. And just so you know, threatening someone into writing a will is illegal too.
That's true. In fact, the lawyer mentioned that you tried to do exactly that.
What?
He said she came to him several times. She said you were harassing her, trying to force her to leave everything to you. She told him she was frightened.
That's ridiculous! I asked her once or twice, but...
She said you threatened her. You told her the house might burn down if she didn't change the will.
You can't be serious! Even if that were true, my name's not even in the will you found, right?
No, it isn't. But she gave that will, the one you tried to coerce, directly to her lawyer. As evidence.
Wait, so you're telling me both wills are still around?
Yes.
Then the one I pushed for should be valid, right? Dad destroyed the other one, so it's gone.
That would only work if the one you forced her to sign was more recent. But it's not. The valid will, the one your father destroyed, is dated after yours.
But he burned it! It's gone!
The lawyer has a digital copy. He kept a scanned version of the original in his files.
That can't count! It's not the real thing!
If it can be authenticated, then yes, it can count. A court can approve it if the original was destroyed maliciously.
You've got to be kidding me!
You lost. You and your father tried to manipulate everything, and you lost.
You think this is over? It's not! There's one thing you could do to make this right.
What now?
Walk away. Refuse the inheritance. Say you don't want it. If you do that, I can file a claim for the whole estate. And I'll make it worth your while. Say $30,000. I'll wire it to you immediately.
You're offering me $30,000 from an estate worth over $100 million?
See? There it is. That's your true face. You try to sound virtuous, but the moment money's on the table, your real colors show.
No, I'm rejecting your offer because it's insulting. If I'm to honor your mother's wishes, her gratitude, her trust, $30,000 doesn't even begin to respect that.
She's dead. She doesn't care anymore. I'm telling you to back off.
I won't.
Then I'll make you regret this. If you go through with this, Dad and I will never forgive you. You'll be hounded, harassed, alienated. Do you want to live your life like that?
That's a terrifying thing to say.
Take it as a warning. Keep your mouth shut. Disappear. Never come near us again. That's all you can do if you know what's good for you.
I won't be silenced. Not for you, not for your father. And certainly not when it means betraying what your mother entrusted to me.
You're going to regret this. Mark my words.
Goodbye, Mina. I've officially retained legal counsel. The court process is underway.
You what? Court? What the hell are you trying to pull?
We're taking legal steps to prove the authenticity of the will your wife wrote, and to formally confirm that you, Devon, destroyed the original document. Once that's accepted by the court, you'll be designated as a disqualified heir.
Bullshit! You don't have any real proof?
The lawyer had the foresight to record your wife writing and discussing the will. From the moment she sat down with pen in hand, he documented everything. Video, audio, all of it.
You're lying!
She was afraid, Devon. She knew her wishes could be ignored or manipulated, so she made sure there was no room for doubt. And since the will mysteriously vanished from where it was supposed to be, suspicion falls on only two people, the ones who lived in that house, you and me.
Then maybe you took it!
Except you admitted by text that you saw the will and that you threw it away. That's already been submitted as evidence.
Honestly, Dad, there's no point arguing. You brought this on yourself when you trusted someone like her with everything, letting her stay in the house, take care of Mother. What did you expect?
But this isn't how it was supposed to go!
It's fine. That lawsuit's never going to hold up. In the end, I'll inherit the rest. And when I do, I'll make sure you get a generous share.
You swear you're not gonna screw me over?
Sorry to interrupt your little alliance, but Mina is also being named a disqualified heir.
Oh, here we go again. Still clinging to that ridiculous idea? You don't have a shred of proof that I threatened her.
Actually, we do. Your mother-in-law gave testimony, and she left behind recordings.
What?
You weren't exactly subtle. You rarely visited her for years, until she got sick. And suddenly you show up again and again, all sweetness and concern.
Because I was worried about her.
She knew better. That's why she asked the lawyer to install a small camera in her room. Quiet, discreet.
You're making that up.
I saw the footage myself earlier today. You were manipulating her, saying you were struggling, that your husband couldn't make ends meet, that your kids needed better opportunities. You pressured her to change the will and leave everything to you.
That's just emotional talk. Everyone talks like that to their parents.
When she refused, you lowered your voice and said, if you don't cooperate, this whole house could go up in flames. It's all on tape.
Mina! You actually said that?
Don't act like you're innocent. You were the one saying you were feeding her expired food just to speed things up, remember? At that sushi place, you laughed and said you hoped the moldy sweets would hurry her along.
Your mother was careful. She only ever ate what I gave her. So rest easy. Your generosity never reached her.
So she really never trusted us.
She was always alert, always prepared. She knew exactly the kind of people she was surrounded by. And yet, she never blamed you out loud. That was her kindness.
I loved her. Don't paint me as some kind of monster.
Then why didn't you help? You wouldn't even assist her to the bathroom. You refused to learn how to operate her emergency button.
Because you were always there. What was the point?
She knew I stayed out of obligation, and still, she apologized. She used to tell me, you shouldn't have to bear this burden. Go live your life. She cried, saying she was sorry for holding me back. She blamed herself for being alive.
She really said that?
She didn't want to die. She just didn't want to live surrounded by people who were counting down the days.
She was lucky to have you. I can see that now.
Yeah, Grace gave her the best final years possible.
Excuse me? You two made my life miserable. You turned me into a caregiver, a maid, a silent shadow in my own home. You refused to even let me attend her funeral.
But still, you didn't have to do any of it. You could have just sent her to a care home.
She offered that. Said she didn't want to be a burden, but I couldn't. She loved that house. She loved the sakura tree in the garden. It reminded her of her youth, her family. When spring came, her face would light up. How could I rip her away from that?
You really are a rare kind of person.
Exactly, which is why you don't need to go to court. Let's just talk it out. We're family, aren't we?
No, you are not my family, and you made that very clear.
Fine. You take the inheritance, then maybe you can pass a little of it our way afterward. You know, for old time's sake.
Did either of you help me once, just once, in the last 14 years?
I earned money. That was my contribution.
And I prayed for her, even from afar. That counts.
Pathetic. Your mother's money will go to those who deserve it. I will use it for good, not for people like you.
But what did she want? The will barely said anything specific.
There was a personal letter. The lawyer had it sealed until today.
And what did she say?
She asked to be buried separately from her husband.
What?
She wanted to rest near the cherry blossom tree, in a small plot with her son. Not beside the man who ignored her.
She never told me that.
She also requested that the house and land be sold at a discount to her best friend.
Why?
Her friend runs a daycare. They were losing space, needed a better location. She wanted this home, this garden, to be filled with laughter again.
Then where am I supposed to live?
Figure it out. You're an adult.
Fine, whatever. You'll still have money left over. Just share a little.
She only left one condition for how the money should be used. She said, use it in a way that makes people smile.
I'll smile if you give it to me!
Me too!
Those smiles are cheap and empty. She meant real joy, the kind that changes lives.
I always thought you were so meek, but now you've got money and suddenly you're bold!
I was always quiet because you disgusted me. Now I just have no reason to hold my tongue.
You vile little...
Call me what you want. I have no regrets. The time I spent with her was meaningful. She gave me stories about her son, memories I never got to hear before. I treasured every moment.
Liar, you're just pretending to be noble.
Say what you like, but I know I loved her, and I know she loved me back.
You think you get to walk away clean?
You made your bed, now lie in it.
I can't believe this.
Wait! Maybe there's another will, one she filed at a public office or somewhere official.
She could have registered it. Maybe we'll find a real one.
You won't. There is no other will.
How can you be so sure?
Because she didn't want any of her money reaching either of you. If she'd filed it, she couldn't have prevented you from getting your legal share. That's why she entrusted it to her lawyer, but nowhere else. She knew you would try to destroy it.
She planned for all of this?
Yes, even when her body weakened, her mind was sharp. She played you both from the beginning.
She saw right through us.
And she chose to leave everything to the one person who never once asked for it.
I hate this.
I know prison won't be easy for you, but maybe it'll give you time to reflect.
Wait, prison? What are you talking about?
What you two did. Threats, destruction of documents, inheritance fraud. It's criminal. There will be consequences.
You didn't have to report us. You could have let it go.
The attorney already contacted the authorities. Your mother trusted him. He's not going to cover for you.
Help me! I'm still young. I don't want this on my record. Let Dad take the fall.
Are you serious? You'd let me go down for this?
You started it by destroying the will.
Yeah, and you threatened her!
Disgusting. Fight among yourselves if you want. I'm done with you both. It still feels surreal sometimes, everything that happened, everything that fell apart. But maybe the most surreal part is how quickly people can go from bold and entitled to utterly powerless when the truth catches up to them. My father-in-law, once a man who walked with such authority, no, arrogance, is now nothing more than a name on a court record. He was charged with a crime I had never even heard of before, destruction of private documents. A petty-sounding offense to anyone unfamiliar with the story, but one that carries real consequences when it's tied to manipulation, forgery, and the selfish rewriting of a will meant to protect a grieving family. He tried to erase my mother-in-law's wishes. He tried to rewrite her legacy in his own image. But paper trails, no matter how thin, always leave behind evidence. And then there's my sister-in-law. Her fall from grace was even more spectacular, if such a word can be used to describe such devastation. She wasn't charged with one crime, but 3. Threats, coercion, attempted extortion, a trifecta of disgrace. I suppose it takes a particular kind of delusion to believe you can intimidate someone into silence and get away with it. For a while, it seemed she really believed she could bully her way into inheriting a life she never earned, never deserved. I often wonder what they're dreaming of now, behind bars. My father-in-law and sister-in-law, once so proud, so certain that the world owed them more, now wearing prison uniforms, sleeping behind reinforced doors, under the constant gaze of people who don't care who they used to be. Are they still clinging to that fantasy about the inheritance, still imagining a future where they co-own the estate, cashing in on the assets? Dividing my mother-in-law's life's work like scavengers at a feast. I wonder if they dream of gold and property, only to wake up to cold concrete and institutional meals. And when they do wake up, what then? What replaces the greed when the illusion finally fades? The house where my father-in-law used to live is gone, demolished, the land leveled. Where once stood a somber home full of manipulation and whispered resentment, there is now something vibrant, something hopeful, a brand new preschool. It's large, colorful, modern, with wide windows, clean walls, and a gentle playground where laughter now rings out each morning. I walk by sometimes just to listen. The laughter of children, the voices of teachers guiding them gently, the clatter of tiny feet running freely over safe, sunlit ground. The land has been reborn, freed from the weight of his legacy. A place that once reeked of control and cruelty is now filled with innocence and joy. Apparently, the preschool has become quite popular. Parents praise the spaciousness, the cleanliness, the warmth of the staff. It makes me smile to know that the very earth he once ruled with coldness is now nurturing children who are loved and encouraged. I can't help but wonder what my father-in-law would say if he saw it now. Would he recognize the place? Would he feel any shame knowing that something so pure had replaced the ruins of his selfishness? As for my sister-in-law, I've heard the stories, whispers from mutual acquaintances, old friends who couldn't help but share what they knew. She was disowned by her husband. He called her an embarrassment, an insult to the family name. I don't blame him. After everything she did, everything she tried to manipulate and steal, he packed up their child and left, cut all contact. And from what I've heard, not once has he visited her during her incarceration. Not even a single letter, not a phone call, nothing. Even blood ties have limits. I think the part that haunts me most is how far people can fall when blinded by greed. They forget who they are. They forget the people who once stood beside them. They convince themselves they are justified, righteous even, that they are owed something, that the world must bend to their desires. And then, when the lies unravel and the consequences arrive, they look around, stunned, as if betrayed by the very world they tried to manipulate. But the truth is, they betrayed themselves. I remember the last time I saw my mother-in-law alive. Her hands were trembling slightly, but her eyes were sharp, steady. She told me, very softly, that the greatest legacy anyone can leave behind isn't wealth or land. It's kindness. It's laughter. It's the people who remember you not because you gave them something, but because you were something. Someone warm, someone who listened, someone who stayed true to themselves. In her final letter to me, she wrote, "If I can leave you with one wish, it's this. Bring smiles to others, even if it's just one person at a time, even if it's just in small, quiet ways. Be the kind of presence that lightens burdens, not adds to them." Those words have stayed with me. They echo in the quiet moments, and now, more than ever, they guide how I choose to live. I won't lie, there were times when I wanted revenge, when I wanted them to suffer, to feel what they made me feel, but that desire passes. It always does. Because living well, living kindly, intentionally, is a far more powerful response than vengeance. It breaks the cycle. It rebuilds. So I live simply, humbly. I give what I can to those around me. Time, support, a listening ear. I help my neighbors when they need it. I volunteer once a week at the preschool. Yes, that preschool. Reading picture books to the children. Just like my mother-in-law used to do. And when I see their eyes light up, when I hear their giggles at silly voices and happy endings, I feel like she's with me. I no longer think of the past as a curse. It was a chapter. A difficult one, yes, full of sorrow and betrayal, but it ended, and from it, something new has grown, something stronger, cleaner, lighter. Occasionally, I receive letters from people who knew my in-laws. Some are apologetic, some are just curious, but a few, just a few, thank me. They say seeing how I carried myself through it all gave them strength, that watching me stand firm without stooping to cruelty helped them face their own family conflicts. I never expected to be that kind of person, but maybe healing, when done in public, ripples outward in ways we never see. I've started writing again, nothing formal, just journals, private pages where I try to make sense of it all, where I reflect not just on what happened, but who I've become because of it. It's strange how pain, once processed, turns into wisdom, into clarity, into something like peace. And when the nights get quiet, and I sit by the window with a cup of tea, watching the street lights flicker on one by one, I smile. Not because everything turned out perfectly, but because I know who I am now, and I know what I'm not. I'm not someone who lets bitterness rot her from the inside. I'm not someone who believes the world owes her anything, and I'm certainly not someone who measures life in material gain or legal victories. I measure it in light, in warmth, and the number of people whose lives I've managed to soften, if only for a moment. And that, I've come to realize, is enough. More than enough. There are still moments when the shadows creep in, quiet, uninvited reminders of everything I endured. Sometimes when I'm walking alone and catch a whiff of old cologne, or see an older man bark at his wife in public, it jolts something in me. I'm taken back, just for a second, to a time when I used to flinch at footsteps in the hallway. When silence wasn't peace, it was tension before the next explosion. I used to carry that fear like armor, always anticipating, always adapting, always trying to avoid conflict. I walked on eggshells so long that I forgot what solid ground felt like. Even now, the instinct to shrink, to withdraw when someone raises their voice, still lingers. But I've come far. I don't suppress my voice anymore. I don't smile to appease when I'm hurt, or downplay my needs so someone else can feel bigger. I've learned that boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthier, more honest relationships. I've learned that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means releasing the weight of someone else's wrongdoing so it doesn't drown you. I've also stopped feeling guilty for being happy. That took time. After the legal battle ended and the house was demolished, I remember feeling a strange hollowness, like I was waiting for the next crisis to hit, because peace felt unfamiliar. But eventually, I allowed myself to live without expecting disaster, and that shift, subtle at first, was profound. These days, I've surrounded myself with people who understand me. Friends who don't see me as damaged but resilient. A support group of women who've been through their own versions of hell and clawed their way back to the surface. We meet once a month. Sometimes we laugh. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we sit in silence. But there's power in that space, in being seen and heard and never judged. Last spring, I took a solo trip to the mountains. Just me, a journal, and the sound of wind through pine trees. I stayed in a small cabin with no internet, no TV, no distractions. The first 2 days were hard. I wasn't used to the quiet. It felt too loud. But on the third morning, I watched the sun rise over a lake so still it looked like glass, and I felt light. Not empty, just unburdened. I cried for a long time that morning. Not from sadness, but from a release I didn't know I still needed. That's the thing no one tells you about survival. You don't just survive the moment, it comes in layers. You survive the aftermath, the rebuilding, the learning to trust again, the learning to trust yourself again. Every part of healing is its own